Hi guys, it's Red Ratchet. Welcome to my 2025 Ratchet and Clank collection video. Yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years. That's crazy. Okay, starting off with the games, we're gonna do Ratchet and Clank 1. I don't know if I've said this a billion times or not, but my favorite one is the original Ratchet and Clank, so yeah. This is, of course, my copy of Ratchet and Clank 2. Going Commando. I also love this game. These are my childhood copies, by the way. As you can see, I still have everything. I've kept pretty much everything that's Ratchet and Clank related. Here's Ratchet and Clank 3 at your arsenal. I remember seeing this actually in the store. I think I made my dad get it when I saw it or whatever. So yeah, pretty cool. Great game. Here's Ratchet Deadlock. This is one that I got, I say more recently, probably like 8 years ago now, but also a great game. Kind of underappreciated because it's a little different, but I like it. It's cool. Cool, dark game. Then we got Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. This is the worst version to play this game, but I don't know. I don't mind Size Matters. I have fun with it, at least on the PSP. Not as much on here, but still, it's cool. Secret Agent Clank, my worst enemy. No, I'm just kidding, it's not that bad. But yeah, it's a weird game. Once again, similar thing, I think if you're gonna play it on the PSP, or the Vita or something. Here's Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. Very underrated. I love Tools of Destruction. I feel like it's not talked about as much, but it's great. It's got Talwyn. Speaking of Talwyn, here's Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty. Yeah, I'm happy to have a physical copy of this. I kind of wish we got one in the States here, but, you know, whatever. Here's A Crack in Time. The most fan favorite, and also probably objectively the best Ratchet and Clank game. I love this game a lot. I gotta show you guys, look at this. I still think this is so cool, having the pocket watch there, so, yeah. Here's Ratchet and Clank Golf for 1. As you can see, I have this Target version that came with Quest for Booty, again, because I have, like, 3 digital versions for some reason. I like this game. I finally platinumed it, which is cool. Wow, this expired in 2012. Holy crap. That was a while ago. Oh yeah, PlayStation Move Heroes. This is a game. I've really only ever seen the cutscenes. I've played this game like a grand total of 5 minutes, so I should probably try and play it again at some point, but yeah, you know, it exists. Then we have PlayStation All-Stars, of course. I'm a big fan of this game, even though it's alright. I don't know. I just really like PlayStation, so it's cool. There's Ratchet and Clank. They're next to Sackboy. How cool is that? Wow. The Ratchet and Clank HD Collection. This is cool, too. I mean, a lot of people don't like it. I don't know. I still think it's neat to have all 30 games on one disc. Full Frontal Assault. This is still crazy to me. This is like a 10th anniversary game. I don't mind it too much. I think it's fun for what it is, being a tower defense game. Look at how, with the manual, it's gotten so downhill, man. So sad. I miss manuals. Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus. Pretty cool. I love this game as well. Very underrated, I feel like. It's just short. That's really the only issue it has. If it was longer, I think it'd be a lot more people's favorite. But, oh well. Yes, Ratchet 2016. As you can see here, I have this exclusive sleeve. Oh yeah, and it also has art from Tools of Destruction for some reason. I don't think they knew, at the time, but, yeah, that's cool. It's from, I think, PAL regions only for a limited time. And then here's the copy that I got whenever it first released, I think April 2016. Yeah, it's alright. It's an okay game. Crazy that this is the most successful Ratchet and Clank game. Like, wow, that's nuts. Of course, we got Rift Apart. As you can see, I have the launch edition, because I need to have every Ratchet and Clank game, I guess. Great game as well. One of the best PlayStation 5 games, you know, if you haven't played it. I mean, not that I'm biased or anything, but you should get it. Alright, and then we have the, of course, PSP games. This is, of course, Secret Agent Clank. I did also have Size Matters there, as you can see, just as the disc. So funny to me, these renders are so weird. So bizarre. And still on this art too, but yeah, pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's Secret Agent Clank. Here are the Vita games. As you can see, I have both PlayStation All-Stars and the Ratchet and Clank Collection, or the HD Trilogy as it's called everywhere else. There wasn't one that was released in the States, so that's why that, I do have the games, by the way. I just put my Vita games in a different spot. Wow, that's crazy. It's from so long ago. It's so weird to think about that. It wasn't that long ago. Yeah, it's still funny to me they use like Tools of Destruction renders and All for One renders on this art for some reason. So weird. Super cool though. I don't know. I love to play this on the go. It's pretty cool. Alright, we're moving on to the next category, which should be the Japanese versions of Ratchet and Clank games. So here is the first game, as you can see, with the like Blackwater City artwork, which looks really cool. Yeah, it's pretty neat looking. Here's the Ratchet 2 one. I unfortunately have this like platinum version, which makes it look super shiny and yellow for some reason. Oh yeah, I have this memory card in there too with a Ratchet and Clank sticker, which is neat. Yeah, there's some pretty interesting artwork and renders in some of these. Here's Ratchet and Clank 3 from Japan. Pretty neat as well. I just think the box art and stuff for some of these looks so cool. Look at the disc art. That's so funny. Ratchet and Clank 3. Yeah, pretty bizarre. Some of this is definitely like you just don't see very often, so yeah. Here's, of course, Ratchet Deadlocked, or Ratchet and Clank 4, as you can see it's called in Japan. This one's the Christmas, like, gift version, which came with the sleeve, and as you can see, it's supposed to come with a Ratchet Santa card. I have finally gotten that, which you'll see, I guess, in a second. So yeah, here's what the box art actually normally looks like. It's very green, which is an interesting choice. Oh, there goes the disc. Okay, that's cool. There we go. So yeah, I don't know why my copy doesn't want to stay in there. And yeah, as you can see, I finally got this card, this Ratchet Santa card. It's super glittery, shiny, and then there's the like cheat to get the skin, so that's kind of cool. The manual also looks really neat, like very red, my favorite color, so that's not, you know, not a bad thing at all. But yeah, very neat. This was like, I think one of the first, or maybe the first Ratchet and Clank game to get a special kind of edition, so that's cool. But yeah. Here is, of course, the PSP games. We got Size Matters and Secret Agent Clank. Once again, both look really cool. Let's look at Size Matters first. Oh, this one also, this one also doesn't want to stay in. Okay, that's cool. Let's just do both of them right away. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I love a lot of the artwork on these. They're just so strange. Very weird. Here's Secret Agent Clank. I like this one a lot because Ratchet's actually on the cover, which is cool. There's the disc art. Clank doing a crazy kick in the air. His foot's on fire. What? So cool. Okay, now we have, of course, Tools of Destruction, which, as you can see, is called Ratchet and Clank Future, which is pretty neat. Wow, finally, a disc that doesn't pop out. Man, those eyebrows are so crazy. they're so goofy. I love seeing some of these like renders though. Very cool. Very unique looking. Here's A Crack in Time. Also have some, you know, some pretty cool box art there too. This was the last Ratchet game, I think, with his crazy you know, eyebrows, so that's a bit of a shame we don't see that as much anymore. Here's All for One. Finally got this, which looks very cool. It's very vibrant. Like, a lot of the colors they used for the Japanese copies, for some reason, the colors are just so, like, they just pop out. It's interesting, I guess. But yeah, there's some cute little, like, chibi artwork you can see in there, in the manual, so that's neat. Here's the HD collection from Japan. Very cool. This one has always intrigued me because Ratchet's holding a combustor at the front. Also, when you open it up, it's very pink, which is an interesting choice. Yeah, it's cool, though. I like seeing, you know, them kind of reminisce on the first 3 Ratchet games. That's pretty cool. Here's the, of course, weird secondary Ratchet and Clank collection that's exclusive to Japan. I think it's like the TriStar collection, which of course has Nexus, Quest for Booty, and Full Frontal Assault. This is a pretty strange one. I think it's super cool, though, so I try to talk about it a bit. There's a code on the back, as you can see here. This does not work, for mine at least, anymore, but it used to give, I think, some kind of wallpaper or something? I don't know, it was like a background or something like that. Yeah, very cool, weird, kind of unique Ratchet and Clank game. Then we have the special Japanese PlayStation 4 edition, which comes with the game, movie, and, right, like a little bit of the manga. So that'll show up later, but yeah, let's show you guys the movie, I guess, and the PS4 game. So you can see I still have this sealed. I haven't really had a desire to watch it in Japanese, so yeah, it's still sealed after all these years. And then here's the PS4 game. Also, once again, see, very vibrant. Like, the art is, or the colors are just, they pop out so much. But it's cool. The disc art looks really cool, too, actually. And then an exclusive, it looks like PS4 background, so that's neat. Did I get that? No. But, very cool, you know, nice to have at least, like, an image of what it looks like, I guess, so. Pretty cool. Alright, then yes, I do have Rift Apart from Japan as well now, which is kind of crazy. And it looks pretty much the same for the most part as the original copy. This one is still sealed. I probably will open it maybe at some point. I don't know. Pretty cool, though. Okay, so moving on from there, we have more miscellaneous discs. So this is going to start off with the movie. Here's the DVD version of the Ratchet and Clank movie. I got this back whenever it first released in 2016. I haven't rewatched the movie in years, so I don't really remember as much as I probably should, but yeah, it's so funny to me they advertised the PS4 game and the movie in their respective mediums. It's kind of cool. Yeah, nothing really interesting there, but it's cool, you know. Nice to see, I guess. Here is the movie again. This is just the Blu-ray. Nothing else. I don't think there's anything else in there. It's just the Blu-ray disc of the Ratchet and Clank film. A bit of a shame there's not really any interesting, like, disc artwork for this stuff. But hey, you know. Here is the special collector's edition of Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time. This was, once again, another thing that was, I think, only in PAL regions. Really wish we got this here in the States, because it is really cool looking. Yeah, there isn't anything, like, necessarily super majorly different about this compared to the normal version, but as you can see, it's not like a normal, I don't know, case, like DVD or Blu-ray case. It's like a sleeve. And it just comes with the game and the manual, and there's this really great, like, concept artwork for the great clock and Clank there, which looks really pretty. And like, the most interesting part is this, the little mini art book. It's very thin, as you can see, but very cool. I mean, you got just, like, little bits and pieces of concept art from A Crack in Time in here, and it looks really cool, you know? I think it looks cool, at least. And then, yeah, this really early, like, collector's edition promotion code. Wow. Oh my god, 2011. That's crazy. Oh, man. But, yeah, really cool. I wish we got more collector's editions or whatever for the series. So, this is one of the few. Here's a PAL region copy of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. I thought I'd fit this in here. Interesting they used the all-for-one Ratchet and Clank renders. Yeah, in case you're wondering where the disc and the manual are, it's in this, the Steelbook version of PlayStation All-Stars. Now, the reason why I'm including this in my Ratchet and Clank collection, as you'll soon see, there actually is some Ratchet and Clank stuff in here. Like a very small amount, but still. This is crazy. I don't see this come up very often. But yeah, here's the disc and the manual. There they are. They're hidden for some reason in the inside, but very cool regardless. And it's cool to see that this game got like an actual manual. But yeah, it's neat. Here is a special edition of Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. I don't really know how you would have gotten this, but as you can see, it comes with a special sleeve. Yeah, there isn't anything different really from it. Oh yeah, there's this promotional like little ad, I guess, in there that makes it a little different from the one we saw earlier. But that's kind of it. Yeah, I don't know where you would have originally found this sleeve. I don't know if it was like a special pre-order bonus thing or what, but yeah, it looks cool. I like the artwork on it, so that's interesting. Here is the Ratchet and Clank soundtrack for the movie. CD. This is the only official Ratchet and Clank CD, which is kind of bizarre. I'd love to see other games or something get official CD releases, but yeah, this is pretty cool. Watch me struggle trying to open this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, very orangey. They went with like, there's a lot of like orange and yellow aesthetic, I think, in this series, which is kind of interesting. There's some fun little screenshots of the movie behind the CD, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I don't see this pop up very often, surprisingly. I guess because it's the movie soundtrack, but still. Here is a promo copy of Ratchet and Clank HD Collection. I don't plan on collecting many of these. I just think this is kind of neat. These were basically just like they're like early copies that were given to game journalists or reviewers. So that's kind of cool, though. I didn't think I'd be able to get a couple of these, so this is neat. Yeah. This one is especially cool. This is for the original Ratchet and Clank, which this one came from, like, I think Italy, which is crazy. So it's a very old promo disc, and it's for the PlayStation 2, so, you know, that's pretty neat. But yeah, they're basically just the final game. There isn't anything different about it, just much more boring box art or disc art. Oh yeah, here's the also final one I guess I have, is this A Crack in Time promo disc, which as you can see comes from France, I think, right? Yeah. I don't know French. But as you can see, it comes with the actual case too. That's how it normally is supposed to be. And yeah, there's the disc. Very cool. Very strange. It's a neat collector's item, though. Here is a sealed copy of Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time. As you can see, I went a little nuts, guys. I'm going a little crazy. I don't usually collect sealed games, and I don't care really for that, to be honest. But because this game means so much to me, I thought I would get at least one type of sealed copy of it. So that's kind of cool. Then we have here the PAL region copy of the original Ratchet and Clank, which is very cool. I love the artwork on this. It's just iconic, I don't know. I love the back as well. It's just fun, you know. It looks cool. It looks neat. And then, of course, the disc art, which looks very neat, and the manual and, like, other little ads in here. Very, very cool. Again, don't really plan on getting other copies, but this is cool. Here is the other Japanese version of Ratchet and Clank. As you can see, it's really shiny compared to the one here in the States. And it looks really, really cool. The back is about the same, I think, as the other one. But what makes this one special... Oh yeah, I found another memory card with, like, I don't know, some other exclusive Ratchet and Clank sticker on it. But what's interesting about this copy that I got, which I don't see show up very often, oh yeah, that's cool, this is just the manual, is these postcards. There were Ratchet and Clank postcards, I guess, that were advertised or whatever, that they might have been a pre-order bonus or something, I don't know, from Japan. I've seen these show up a couple times online. Yeah, I was really surprised to see this because I hadn't heard of this or seen these before at all for literally years until, again, somewhat recently. So I'm really happy though to have gotten this, considering I'm a huge fan of the original Ratchet and Clank. So yeah, very cool, because like it kind of showcases the, you know, like, I don't know, entirety of the image for the most part in better quality compared to a lot of images we see online for Ratchet 1. So I don't know, it's pretty cool looking though. So yeah. And we have a sealed copy of Ratchet and Clank 1. Yeah, so these are the only 2 Ratchet and Clank games, or probably the only 2 games ever I'm gonna have that are sealed, just because I love them a lot. I love them a lot. So this is pretty cool. I don't know, I thought this was a neat thing to have. Yeah, there isn't really much to say about it. Here is a Korean copy of Ratchet and Clank 2. I had no desire or really intention on collecting any of the Korean copies of Ratchet games because they're just so rare and expensive, but shockingly I was able to find this one, and it looks very cool. Yeah. I was also able to find this one, the Ratchet and Clank 3 Korean copy. This one is crazy looking. I love it so much. As you can see, it's very shiny, like ridiculously shiny. Yeah, very unique. Again, I don't know why these are so rare, if they just didn't make as many copies of these or what, but yeah, they're cool. Here is something very unique. Ratchet and Clank 2 Going Commando informational DVD. I've been meaning to try and, like, record the footage that's on here. It's not very long. It's, like, maybe 20 or 30-minute DVD. But yeah, I hadn't seen any information about this. I think it's a fairly rare item, because I don't... Look at this. That's crazy. But yeah, I don't see, like, any information really online about this. There was, I think, one other copy that somebody bought. But yeah, I want to try and share this with you guys because it is cool. It's got some like behind the scenes stuff for Ratchet 2 that I've never seen before. So yeah. We're moving on. Next category, we've got our demo discs. So starting off, we got the Jam Pack 2002 demo disc with, of course, Ratchet 1, as well as Sly 1, which is kind of cool. Well, if you do want to have some demo discs, I would recommend these. They're pretty cool and cheap. Here is the first Ratchet and Clank demo disc. It's always neat to see some of the differences and like things that have changed up or whatever over the years. This one is also pretty early on because you can see there's no rating for the game yet. This is a fairly rare demo disc. This is the other Ratchet Clank 1 demo disc, which as you can see has a rating now. It's T for teen. The artwork's cool. And I think it was an EB Games exclusive, so I don't know how you would have originally gotten it, but I'm assuming it was at an EB Games store. But yeah, this is really cool, interesting disc art. Don't see this demo disc as often, unfortunately, but it's cool. Here is a Ratchet and Clank 2 demo disc. This one is also pretty neat. Again, I think it's interesting just to see what they were kind of experimenting with regarding the artwork and box art and that type of stuff. And again, early things that weren't in the final releases. That's always really interesting. Here's another Ratchet 2 demo disc. This one, as you can see, has an ad for the Jak 2 trailer. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I guess that showcases how much Ratchet and Jak, they had a lot of cross-promotional stuff. Here's the Ratchet and Clank 3, Ratchet Up Your Arsenal demo disc. Really neat. It's funny they pretty much right away knew what box art and back box art or whatever they wanted, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. The disc guard, I think, is even the same, too. That's cool. Here's a weird one. This is a multiple demo disc type of thing, which I got for, I don't even know what, like $7 apparently. Okay. As you can see, it's also falling apart, which is awesome. But yeah, this is like excuse me, some kind of like multiple demo disc. It advertises Ratchet 3, of course, but a lot of other games that were coming out in 2004. So there was like Killzone, oh, God of War, the original God of War, that's fun. Jak 3, and Sly 2. It's just a bunch of, I don't know, neat stuff here. And then here's the actual demo disc. So that's pretty cool. Here is the Ratchet Deadlocked demo disc. Also really neat. Love the artwork on here. Interesting how this one and the Ratchet 3 one, they have like a little bit of the multiplayer you can try out too, which is pretty unique. This one's also the only one I think that isn't rated yet. Oh no, never mind. Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. This demo disc is also not rated. This is a pretty unique one. I had no idea that there were PSP demo discs, because that just sounds insane. Like, why would they do that? But they did. They did do PSP demo discs, so this is pretty cool. Very strange, but yeah. So that's a bit unique. You know, you don't see that very often. Here's the Tools of Destruction demo disc. I think I've talked about this. This was a demo I played a lot as a kid because I was really excited for Tools of Destruction. Same thing with Uncharted 1. So very cool to get a demo disc for this. This one's actually sealed. I think this is the only one I have that is sealed. Yeah, so cool though. Here is a copy of Zookeeper, but as you can see, it comes with a Ratchet and Clank All for One demo. So yeah, that's why I have a copy of Zookeeper. I've never seen this movie, by the way, and I still haven't, even though I own this now. Yeah, so literally the only reason why I have this is because of you know, the All for One demo disc, which also apparently, wow, that is a weird case. What? But yeah. So, very strange. I don't know why Sony did this cross-promotion thing. I think they did it for a couple other movies and games, but very interesting. You know, you could get a free Ratchet and Clank All for One demo, I guess, with your copy. Here's a pretty rare one that I wasn't expecting to get, but the Secret Agent Clank demo disc. I swear, I've looked everywhere online, it's just too expensive everywhere else, and this was the only one that I could find that wasn't ridiculously expensive. I'm not a big fan of Secret Agent Clank, but here we are. Oh, I almost forgot about these. I have the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart vinyl, of course. Yeah, very, very cool. I finally actually have like a record player or vinyl player, so I can actually listen to this now, which is great. The artwork is so pretty, by the way. Like, I love it a lot. It's so cool. And I actually also have a sealed one here as well, in case, I guess, something happens to that other one, which I really hope nothing does, but you never know. Alright, so that's that section, I guess. Let's move on to books. Starting off, we're going to start with the Ratchet and Clank art book, of course. I love this book a lot. It is definitely one of my favorite things in general that I own. Unfortunately, I'm not going to show it too much because it's just so rare. Here is the Ratchet and Clank strategy guide. Very neat. It's very shiny, which I've always thought was cool. Yeah, very, very neat. And let me flip through this a little bit here. It's always cool just to see, like, kind of the 2000s, you know? Oh man. Here's the Ratchet and Clank 2 strategy guide, very neat as well. All these strategy guides I think were actually done pretty well. I mean, they have all the, you know, areas where you gotta find gold bolts or platinum bolts, whatever, and fun stuff like that. There's some interesting renders in here too. Here's Ratchet and Clank 3, Up Your Arsenal. This one also fantastic. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a strategy guide, right? What else can I can't really say too much, I guess, in depth about it, but hey, it looks cool. Again, there's always interesting, again, like screenshots, images. Sometimes there's some unique things in here you're like, oh, I didn't really see that before, which makes it cool. This one's especially interesting, the Ratchet Deadlocked Strategy Guide, because it includes a DVD, as you probably saw a little bit there. Yeah, which is only with this book, which has some like interviews and stuff at Insomniac. I still have it. It's right there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, again, like, I mean, just, you got maps, you got different, like, locations for stuff, so. Here's the Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction Strategy Guide, which as you can see, mine is kind of bent up, but whatever. This one is thick. It is huge. There's a lot here, and it also includes a poster. It's the first one that includes a poster, which is pretty fun. Here, I brought with me to college, and now I just keep it in there. But yeah, really cool. Very, very neat poster. I love it a lot. Yeah. So here it is. They have like a Monsterpedia in here, and again, like all these different renders, like all this crazy stuff. Look at this. It's crazy. Next, we've got, of course, A Crack in Time. This one is also very thick. It is huge. The PS3 games are ridiculous, dude. But really great. So once again, here's some details here. That's fun. How a walkthrough. Yeah, Monsterpedia. They have another one in here, which he thought that maybe it was only in Ratchet 2. No, it's in some of these other games. Yeah, really cool. This one is, again, thick, man. Oh my god. But very cool just to get all these extra details, all of these areas where there are hidden secrets, where all the Zoni are. They even have a little background for the future games. Here is, of course, Ratchet and Clank All for One's strategy guide. This one is actually one of my favorites, despite not being a big fan of All for One. And that's mainly because it includes an entire concept art section, because I love looking at artwork, so that is extremely cool to me. So yeah, you can see here towards the back half of it, we've got a lot of really cool little just pieces of concept art from All for One, and it looks very pretty. This one might not be as interesting as the other ones, because, you know, it's All for One, and it's a little more difficult to get into. Moving on, we got, of course, the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale Strategy Guide. This one is also kind of beaten up. I'm including it. Listen, it's got Ratchet and Clank on the cover. They're pretty playable. Yeah, there's some of the Ratchet and Clank information. They go through all the different characters and stuff, too, which is it's neat. Here is this Ratchet and Clank magazine, Game Informer. This is awesome. Goes off of the original Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, looks awesome. Very, very shiny. Here's another one for Ratchet 1. This one is really cool too. I love seeing any, again, like kind of early, older Ratchet and Clank type stuff. This'll focus. Hello. This one's also in red. Wow. November 2002. Crazy. Yeah, I don't see this magazine pop up very often, but yeah, it's fun to look through. Like, there's some really interesting advertisements and stuff in here. There we go, look at that Ratchet and Clank. This one has some concept art too, which makes it look, I think, really, really neat. And there's some like interviews and fun stuff like that, which I think is just awesome. You know, it's nice to see. Here's another, I think this might be the last Ratchet and Clank 1 magazine I have, which, as you can see, is a Tips and Tricks magazine, advertising Devil May Cry 2. This one's not quite as interesting. Oh, Sonic! Wait. It just goes over, like, the maps and, like, I think some secret, like, cheats and hidden areas, right, within Ratchet 1. Here is a Tips and Tricks for Ratchet and Clank 2! Very similar, obviously, to the Ratchet 1 one, but of course for Ratchet 2. Very cool, though. Again, it's just kind of nostalgic, just seeing all this, like, early 2000s stuff. Oh, man. It's fun, though. It's neat just to be able to reminisce on this. Like, wow, what a different time period, I guess. Here is a Game Pro magazine for Ratchet and Clank 2. This one is really thick, by the way. Like, kind of ridiculous. It advertises Jack 2, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. Here is another Ratchet 2 magazine. This one's for Code Vault, which I think was a different magazine by the same people who did Game Pro. Yeah, I don't see this magazine pop up very often, but pretty neat. Again, I mean, it's very similar to those, though. It just has maps and stuff on it. Here is a Ratchet 3 versus Jack 3 magazine. Looks very sick. This is pretty iconic. They did a lot of Ratchet 3 and Jack 3 cross-promotion back in the day. But, yeah, I mean, you know, just again, these are, like, very much so time capsules. Here's another Ratchet 3 and Jack 3 magazine. This one is for Game Informer, again. I love this cover, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, look at that Resident Evil Outbreak on the back. That's perfect. That's great. Yeah, really cool to see, you know, Jack and Ratchet kind of stuff, I guess, at the same time. Here's a Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction magazine. This is for, what is this? Electronic Games, Gaming Monthly. Yeah, man. So weird to think about, like, that was 2007, alright. Here's another Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction magazine. This one's by Game Developer, which is pretty cool. This one has a bit of a more different vibe, at least from what I remember when I read it. It was more advanced, I don't know. Oh yeah, the Play magazine for Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time. This is the only Crack in Time magazine I think I could ever find with that on the cover, which is kind of crazy. This is a pretty rare magazine. I don't see this pop up very often, and I really am the only person I think that has shared that image, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it goes over a lot of stuff from 2009. Here is a Ratchet and Clank All for One magazine. This one's from the official PlayStation magazine, which is cool. Hopefully you guys can read the green on white. That looks terrible. Very much so from 2011. Look at that. The PS Vita, the NGP, the next gaming portable. Wow. Here's that. That looks cool. That's neat. Here is a 2016 PlayStation official magazine. I would open it up, but I don't feel like doing that. It'll take too long. No, it's cool though. It is unique to have Nate and Ratchet on the same cover. This one is pretty interesting. I have not seen anyone talk about this, but it's a Ratchet and Clank movie magazine, which is pretty unique. Don't see that very often. Here is another Game Informer magazine. This one's got multiple different PlayStation characters, but of course Ratchet and Clank are on there, so very, very cool. Had to get that. There's Sackboy too, so that's cool. Yeah, I love this magazine. The art is so pretty on it. Very, very neat. Here is a Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart magazine. This was one that you could get for free at Walmart, so that's kind of unique, I guess. Yeah, pretty weird. Here's another Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart magazine. This one also very cool. This one I think is a better magazine. It goes into way more, so I also just like the artwork on there too. It just looks pretty cool. I like it. Reminds me of Into the Nexus. Here's, I think, my latest magazine, which is this Edge magazine for Astrobot, but as you can see, it's got Ratchet and Clank on the cover, and this is actually kind of rare. I don't see this pop up very often online or in person or anything. It's very pinkish, too, which is kind of cool. Here are all the different covers you could get. As you can see, again, there's Ratchet and Clank. There's a lot, actually, which is kind of crazy. Or maybe that was just different renders of Astro as PlayStation characters. Very cool, though. It's fun to see some Astrobot love. This game is great. Alright, we're gonna move on to the next books. I have so many, guys, I'm so sorry. The next book is the Ratchet and Clank comic book, which, as you can see, I got to meet James Arnold Taylor now, too. So, yes, I got my childhood copy of this comic book signed by both Ratchet and Clank now, which is awesome. So, that makes me really happy. This is one of my favorite things I have now. Then, of course, I have all of the single-issue versions of the Ratchet and Clank comics. This is the first issue. Then the second issue. I love the artwork on all of these. They're so cool. The creature box art style is great. Here is Ratchet 3. I actually have 2 copies of Ratchet 3. Very, again, like, just the artwork really sticks out. Very stylized, and obviously Ratchet and Clank. Here's the 4th issue. This is probably my favorite cover. I don't know. It might be one of my favorites. Issue 5, we got Talwyn. That's an awesome cover. Looks really cool. And then the last issue, issue 6. Here we have the Japanese strategy guide. So this is the first one for the first Ratchet and Clank. Pretty neat. It's very reddish, pinkish themed, which is always a good thing for me. Here's the other Ratchet and Clank 1 strategy or guidebook type thing. This one's more yellowy, I guess, themed. Yellow and black. Pretty unique, you know? It's interesting to see, again, like, the choices made and, like, what images will show up again, what renders will show up again, that type of stuff, and how they play that out, I guess. But yeah, this one I guess is gray. Look at that! Wow. Okay, didn't expect that. I didn't know what that was gonna look like. Here is the Ratchet and Clank 2 strategy guide from Japan. This one is also really neat. I've had this one for a while. There's a lot of fun little artworks, and they all the Koro comic ones, as you can see, have little manga comic panels within them. These were outside of the mangas, because I do have those as well, which you'll see later, but yeah. Oh, they're stickers as well. I forgot about that. Here's the other Ratchet and Clank 2 Japanese guidebook. As you can see, again, like a lot of these, they had 2 different companies making these guidebooks. It makes it kind of difficult to get all of them, but I managed to get all of them, so that's how it is, I guess. Yeah, this is, again, pretty crazy. You got some interesting choices for sure for some of the artwork here, but it looks cool, you know? I don't know, I think it's neat. Oh, it's green themed, okay. That's neat. Here is the Ratchet and Clank 3 Japanese guidebook. Very fantastic. I've had this one also for a long time. Love that image of Ratchet with the suit on. Oh man. There's yeah, some pretty interesting, again, 2D artwork. Again, they have art and stuff that relates to the game. So like this one has the Infernox armor. Pretty unique, you know, you just don't see some of this stuff very often, or some of these renders and images in general very often. Oh, me when I'm pointing at something. Okay. And this one did have stickers, but I never had them, so I don't know what it looks like. And this one is blue themed, so that's cool. Next we got the other Ratchet and Clank 3, a Japanese guidebook. This was, I think, the last one that I needed to get in my collection. It took a long time, but here it is. Yeah, pretty cool. And this one, again, like you can see the other branded ones, they don't have as many of the like comics and stuff, but they do have this like interesting little image at the corner that like fades in and out, which is interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Here's the Ratchet and Clank 4 Ratchet Deadlocked Japanese guidebook. This one is very cool because it comes with the Papercraft Clank, which I have still not used. I want to figure out a way to do that and maybe like scan those images so then everybody can technically make a Papercraft Clank. But yeah, anyways, very cool. There's a lot of images and unique stuff in here too, kind of like the other ones, so that's cool. Moving on, we got the other Ratchet and Clank 4, or Ratchet Deadlocked guidebook. This one is really thick. I mean, some of the other ones were thick too, like there was a lot of pages, but I don't know what it is about this one. There's just like, it feels like there's a lot more information and stuff going on here. Oh, interesting, some card. Okay. But yeah, very cool. Oh, look at this, like, this is like a fairly uncommon deadlocked render. Don't see that every day. It's weird how he looks so photoshopped in this image. So bizarre. Oh, and we got a, it looks like a purple look. Oh, it's not even Ratchet and Clank on the cover. I think it's Vox. Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. Here is, of course, the Ratchet and Clank Size Matters guidebook. This one is pretty unique considering it's a PSP game, so that is really neat. But again, kind of obscure, a little bizarre just to see. Yeah, so there's some specific comics and panels and things like that in here that relates to Size Matters. And it also, I guess, goes for a purple theme. Alright. And the last one I have, which is, I think, the rarest one I have, too, I don't see this pop up as often, is the Ratchet and Clank A Crack in Time guidebook, or Ratchet and Clank Future 2 guidebook from Japan. So, very cool looking, though. I mean, I like it. So, yeah. Here is the Ratchet and Clank, like, storybook for kids. This released, like, way before the movie and game did, so, if you wanted to get movie screenshots really early on, you could have, which I did, so I got to read this little like, kids book and essentially get an idea of what the movie was going to be like before the movie even released. But, yeah, kind of unique. You don't see this talked about very often, probably because it's a little weird. But I also have the guidebook for Ratchet 2016, which I think is the last one that's gotten a guidebook, because Rift Apart didn't get one, which I was kind of surprised by. But yeah, this one was made by Scholastic, so it's not really quite as in-depth as the other ones were, you know. There's some fun stuff, though. Like, look, you can learn the language from Polaris, which is fun. But yeah, I mean, again, like, you know, it's another guidebook. It's not as interesting, I think, as a lot of the older Ratchet and Clank guides, though, you know, so that's a little unfortunate, I guess. And then I guess to cap off those, we also have the Ratchet and Clank movie novel, which is interesting because there is some extra info for some reason in the movie novel that's not in the movie and, like, PS4 game. Like, I think that, like, they have some background on Korra and some other characters that was not in there at all. Yeah, this is pretty interesting, though. It's different. And then finally here for the book section, I think this is the last stuff, we have the mangas. So this is the first volume of the Ratchet and Clank manga, as you can see here. Artwork is insane. I really don't know how to comprehend any of this, even though I've had these books for a long time. I still really don't know what's going on, which is great. Whoa, that looked like Talwyn before Talwyn. Yeah. So it's kind of bizarre. Here's the second volume for the Ratchet and Clank manga. You can see Ace and Quark there, which is fun. This one's a little rarer, I feel like, than the first one. I don't know why. I don't know if they just didn't make as many copies or what, but very cool. Again, this focuses more on, like, Ratchet Deadlocked and I think Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. I forgot to mention with the manga before it, the first one focused on, like, you know, the first 3 games. So this one was kind of the other 2 games. So that's pretty neat. And then finally, of course, here we have the one that came with that, like, special edition version of the PS4 game from Japan. It's like a little miniature Ratchet and Clank manga magazine thing. Here, it is cool looking. Wow, that's cursed. Man, it can be overwhelming though, looking at some of this stuff, like, whoa. Yeah, pretty cool. Here's a Ratchet and Clank Future comic or manga, which is interesting. There's a couple of these, which again, like, don't really see that, often. It's interesting they went for a completely different art style or tone compared to the PS2 ones. Don't know why, though. And Ratchet looks so weird. His ears are so short. Anyways, yeah. Oh, there's a how to draw Ratchet thing here, too. That's cute. I like that. But yeah, they have like a reprinted story from the first manga in here, but then they also have a brand new story, which was kind of crazy. They got the same artist and everything to come back and do a quick one for Ratchet 2016, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I was surprised to see that, and it's a little timeline for Ratchet and Clank games. That's pretty awesome. At the time, at least, right? And even, I think, a couple interviews are in here, yeah. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty neat to see. Alright, moving on to the next section, which I believe is boxes. Yeah. So I have some Ratchet and Clank boxes. This is the one for the vinyl figures. I just like to keep these. Some of them I just want to keep, or put them back in the box, because I'm sure I'll have to move or whatever at some point. And I also just love Ratchet and Clank stuff, so it makes it difficult to... I don't want to get rid of any Ratchet and Clank stuff. So this one is a pretty cool box for the Loot Crate pen, wrench pen. One of the last Ratchet and Clank items with the old Insomniac logo, which is kind of interesting. Here is a very recent box, the U2's Ratchet and Clank box. Very cool looking. Very cool figure as well. I'll have to link the video of that soon. And then, oh, this is very cool. This is a Ratchet and Clank lunchbox. Yeah, this is an official item, I'm pretty sure. Which is pretty crazy. Yeah. Rift Apart got an official lunchbox. I think this was only for maybe Insomniac employees. I don't know. I saw somebody selling only a couple of these online. I was surprised to find it. So very cool looking though. Alright, moving on here, we also have some figure boxes. This is the Dr. Nefarious one, which is pretty neat. I'll have to show, I guess, some more in-depth stuff of some of the artwork for this stuff, but yeah. Here's the Hyperflux Armor Ratchet box. Yeah, I don't know how I've managed to keep a lot of these either, to be honest. I'm just a little crazy, okay? I guess this is how it works. Here's my Armored Ratchet with Mr. Zircon box. I think I have a couple other... Yeah, the Smuggler. Of course, the Smuggler box. I kept a lot of I guess, the second wave of figures box. I guess it was a combo. I don't know. Pretty cool, though. Pretty neat. I like the art they decided with the, Tools of Destruction art. And this was the first figure I got, the Hollow Armor Ratchet with Clank figure, and you can see I totally ripped through. Listen, I was like 9 or whatever when I got this. But yeah, let me show you, because I don't know if I've shown you guys this, but the art here, you can actually open this. It's like a little booklet, like a small booklet, and it advertises other PlayStation figures. Which is really, really cool. So I don't know if I've ever shown that before or not, but yeah. Very neat. Okay, sorry. Moving on. We're gonna actually go with miscellaneous stuff. Quite a few, actually. Part 1 of, I guess, miscellaneous stuff. So we're gonna start off with these Ratchet and Clank all-for-one magnets that do not like to stay in their container, which is great. Very rare. They're like a promotional item, I think, that just don't show up very often, unfortunately. They're cool, though. They're cool. And I also, sort of like this past year, got this crazy Ratchet and Clank Size Matters pre-order sticker sheet from Japan. This is very old, very rare. I don't see it pop up very often. So I am very glad to add this to the collection. Very cool and again, unique, very weird. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a pre-order bonus thing. I don't know how else you would have gotten it, but it looks cool. Moving on, we have this really cute, like, fan art made by the Chalk Girl. I think it's signed by her too, which shows up every once in a while, I think, online, but yeah. This is a official Ratchet and Clank movie papercraft Clank. So you can make a little cube Clank. They did also have Ratchet ones, but I don't see them pop up very much online. I've only ever seen the Clank one pop up, but very cool. Here's a Ratchet and Clank 2002 sticker sheet. This is very cool. I mean, it's very old as well. I think this came in like certain magazines. I think that's how you would have originally gotten it. Some really nice screenshots here. I always love Ratchet and Clank 1 stuff, so that always makes me happy. Here is a, I think just like not fan made, I don't know, car sticker that I've never used. This Japanese Ratchet and Clank 4 or Ratchet Deadlocked sticker sheet. This was also like a promo item from Japan. Really shiny, as you can see. It's insane. Looks really cool, though. I mean, there's a lot of really fun artwork and stuff on there. And even on the back, it like says, oh, you should put your sticker on here, your PS2 thing, or whatever. But it looks really cool. I don't see this show up super often, so... Here is another special kind of Japanese Ratchet and Clank sticker sheet. This also has Ape Escape and Toro, but the Ratchet and Clank ones are fun. I've never seen a couple of these artworks, which I think is all based off of Ratchet 2, so that's really cool. Yeah. Here are some fan art. I almost said fan-made stickers. I guess they are. Fan stickers, which is fun. I love, you know, a lot of the Ratchet and Clank fan artists and other fans. They're so cool. And so I do try to get some of the stickers at the very least of some great fan artists. So here's just a bunch of them. I'm sure I'll put up the name and stuff of each of the artists and everything on here. I got, I think, pretty much all of these from Redbubble. So in case you do want to get some of these stickers, or that I know they have like art prints and other things like that, you should do that. It's on their Redbubble sites, so that's probably what I can't speak. What I'll put up. As you can see, I don't like to use these stickers because I get paranoid for some reason when it comes to, especially Ratchet and Clank stickers, because I just love Ratchet and Clank so much. But, yeah, some of these, unfortunately, I think some of the artists, they might not have their stuff on there anymore, or some people might have even put it on there, you know, with it not actually being them or whatever, so. Yeah, but I'll try and put the ones that I know at least on there. Here's a Ratchet and Clank Trilogy sticker. Got this fun Ratchet and Jack one. That's pretty cool. This one's awesome. And this one. So, very cool. Yeah, I got oh yeah, I forgot I have all these other PlayStation stickers. So, yeah. Here's an official I Am 8-Bit sticker from when I bought some stuff from their site a long time ago. Here is, this is pretty rare, Ratchet and Clank 1, I don't even know what it is, like some kind of promotional board for just Ratchet 1 from Japan. It's very, unfortunately, you can see curved, but it is so cool looking. Yeah, just love the art and everything on the front and back of this. It looks cool. Yeah, I don't see it very often. Here is also very rare. This is a Ratchet and Clank 3 school supply. This is I think supposed to be a pencil board, and I don't see these pop up very often at all, so this is a very rare item. I think I might be the only person that took photos or videos of this, unless somebody in Japan, I guess, has this. But, yeah, very cool. Here is another, like, fan art. This is by, I think, Good Boy Town? See, I can remember some names. So I have a bunch of their stickers and art and stuff, which is pretty cool. So yeah. Here is another one, which as you can see is like, I think like a postcard and a little like sticky note. Yes, I did keep the sticky note. This is how crazy I am. Yeah, Good Boy Town. Okay, I got it. I can remember things. Yeah, so that's pretty sick, dude. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. Here's a fairly rare-ish item as well. It's a Ratchet and Clank all-for-one folder. Yes, a folder. I don't know, it's from this, I don't know, person, I guess, on eBay. Go look that up, I don't know. But, yeah, I think this was a pre-order bonus for all-for-one in Japan. Yeah, it looks really cool. Here is a unofficial Ratchet and Clank 2022 calendar. You got mainly just images of random Ratchet and Clank stuff. I think there's only one stolen image on here, which is that one. Yeah, that one definitely is not. I think that might be by MISCELLANEOUS. I don't know. My brain can work sometimes, okay? But yeah, you know, it's fun to have a Ratchet and Clank calendar, right? I mean, come on. Here's a Ratchet and Clank magnet that my sister got me. So I forgot to mention, a lot of this stuff I, like, have also been gifts and stuff like that I didn't buy, so I don't know. Anyways. Here's a, oh yeah, Ratchet and Clank 2016 stickers. These are pretty rare. They don't show up, I feel like, very often online. But yeah, it was one of the things I got from I Am 8-Bit however long ago. Here is a Ratchet and Clank mouse pad. This is pretty weird. I think it's official. Don't quote me on that. But it is cool. It has some nice art on it. Here's a very rare item. These are Ratchet and Clank fans. Yes. And they're very shiny, very cool looking. I only knew these existed because of the Ratchet merch site, but yeah, they're honestly really pretty, but yeah, as you can see, they advertise the HD collection in Japan, so very obscure. I'm shocked that I was able to find anything like this, to be honest. Here's a really cool item. This is a Ratchet and Clank 3, or Ratchet Up Your Arsenal, promo box that's not even been folded or anything. Yeah, you can see, coming soon. So, yeah, I was really shocked to find something like this, just considering how old it is. So, I don't know, I kind of want to, you know, fold it together, but maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. Alright, so that was the end of the first part of Miscellaneous. We'll come back to it eventually, but let's move on to action figures. So, here's my inbox first kind of broken Ratchet and Clank figures. Clank is really destroyed there. He's very distraught, actually, in general, and you can kind of see the Ratchet figure is actually a little broken, too. But, yeah, it's cool. I managed to get these figures back in their box, you know, however many years ago now, and I just kind of keep them in here to show how cool they look. Here is something new I got. This is a inbox Alistair Azimuth with Orvis figure. Normally I wouldn't get another action figure set because these are super rare and expensive. This one was actually fairly cheap though. I was kind of surprised by that. And I don't really have much of a desire to get them all in box, but you'll see why I got that later. Here are the Ratchet and Clank Funko Pops. These are pretty cool. As you can see, I've put them in their box now because I have been running out of space. So they are here now. They are captured. Yeah. They're cool though. They're cool looking. Here is the Ratchet and Clank, or I guess just Ratchet, Pixel Pal figure. This one is cool. I like how it can glow in the dark or whatever. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I wish we got actually like a 2D Ratchet game or something. That would be kind of fun. But yeah. Here are the Ratchet and Clank Mini-Mates. These are fantastic. These are honestly maybe one of my favorite things just because of how weird they are. But yeah, they've got a lot of A lot of fun little artwork on here. As you can see, this is in-box version. What? I have them in box. That's basically what I was trying to say. Yeah, they're pretty cool, and they were only at Toys R Us. Here are some Ratchet and Clank blind bag figures. Unfortunately, I think I've talked about this, I was very unlucky. I got really only just Ratchets and Big Owls. So those are the only ones in these bags, are Ratchet, Clank, and Big Owls. Then I have these guys. These are just some other, I guess, bags that I've kept of the blind bags, so yeah. And, oh yeah, the Secret Agent Clank GameStop pre-order bag, so that's cool. Here is the official Ratchet with Transforming Clank figure. Very cool looking. I love the detail and stuff on these action figures. I've talked about it before, they are very fragile though. You gotta be really careful with them, which makes me, and I think everybody who has had these or whatever, very paranoid. Yeah, these are very cool. This is one that obviously is not broken, as you could have seen with Clank. Yeah, and they kind of attach with the back there, which is pretty cool. But yeah. Here's the armored Ratchet with Zircon figure. This one is also extremely cool. I love this because it's very Tools of Destruction-y, you know. Zircon looks really awesome. A lot of the paint and sculpt work on these are actually really incredible. And as you can see, you can actually get him to float by doing that, but it's a little, shady to try and do that. Still cool though. But here's Clank. You can actually move the wings around, kind of like the game. Clank's mouth can open and everything, which is cool. As you can see, mine, the shoulder pads have broken off, so I do need to figure a way to glue them back on or something at some point, but yeah. Here is the Captain Cork with Scrunch figure as the gun tries to fling itself out of the way. Okay. Pretty awesome. I mean, it looks just like his blaster from A Crack in Time and stuff. This is so cool to get a Scrunch figure, considering he's only in, Ratchet 3? And maybe Secret Agent Clank, right? I think those might be the only 2 games he's in. So, very cool. He doesn't really have articulation or anything, as you can see. It's just you can move his arms around, and that's kind of it. Trying to see if I can get the copyright date on there, but I guess not. Alright, that's cool. And then Captain Cork is huge. As you can see, he's ridiculous. His eyes are scary too, at least from some angles. He's very cool though. Looks just like him from the games. So I love that a lot. There we go. Now we can actually see some of the copyright date. That's cool. Oh man. It's interesting they have little peg holes or whatever in the bottom of their feet because they don't come with stands. Oh yeah, here's Dr. Nefarious with the Zoni. You can tell I'm losing it because we're an hour and 10 minutes in. Yeah, here's the Zoni. They're very shiny, kind of ridiculously so. But yeah, and they also put the copyright on his head. Why'd they do that? Dr. Nefarious is awesome. He has such a crazy and cool design. Interestingly enough, he doesn't have a normal I don't know, ball joint. He's got this weird swivel kind of motion for his head. So that's kind of unique, and I feel the design he has is more for Quest for Booty, if anything. It's not actually from A Crack in Time really all that much, because he has more orangey stuff than red. Here is my very first Ratchet and Clank figures, or really anything in general besides the games. The Holoflux Ratchet and Clank figure. This is definitely my favorite. As you can see, it's really easy also to take the accessories in and out. A lot better than the older ones. I just love the design. Ratchet looks so cool here. And the armor is great, it's just such a cool figure, man. I get why, and it's a shame that this is so rare now, but I get why it is, because it is very cool. There's the little copyright date, in case anybody was interested, I guess, in knowing that. But yeah, that's Ratchet. Here's Clank. he's very cool. The only downside, I guess, with this set of figures is, of course, you can't put Ratchet and Clank, like, together. Like, you can't put Clank on his back or anything. But very cool, nonetheless. Clank looks really cute. Look at that. I love how he can move his mouth up and down. That's funny. And then, of course, the last, but certainly not least thing is the gun. It comes with the Spiral of Doom, or Spiral of Death, which was made by a fan, which must be crazy. Like, yeah, they made a figure of the gun you made, you know? Like, that's so cool. But, yeah, very sick, very cool set of figures. Here is the Alistair Azimuth and Orvis figure that I have. So this is why I got a brand new in-box figure, because literally I haven't done anything but over time, over like this figure aging. As you can see, yeah, the legs, they've just completely decided to disassemble, which is great. Fantastic. This set in general, for some reason, I've just been bad with, I guess. Like, it's just broken apart, which is a shame because I love Alistair. But it does look super cool still. I mean, like, look at, again, the detail they put into all these figures and, like, accessories and everything is insane. Like, look at that. The sculpt detail for his fur and, like, the expression. It's so just from the game, you know? Like, it's nuts. But, yeah, very cool. Besides his legs falling apart. Here's the wrench, his wrench. As you can see, a long time ago, I super glued together. This is what I mean, like, this set, for some reason, this, like, figure set, I, like, destroyed. But I don't know how. I wasn't trying to, it just kind of happened. And then we have Orvis with his feet completely, taken off. So, that's cool. Oh, it's nice, some nice dust. But yeah, Orvis is cute too. It's cool. It's weird. Moving on, we've got Rusty Pete with Slag. This is also a really cool figure. Set. I don't know why I'm saying set. His antenna broke off too, which is great. This is what I mean by these figures are really fragile. You have to be really careful. This one was my sister's actually though, but then she gave it to me because she knows how obsessed with Ratchet and Clank I am. Very cool though. That's broken. These move. That's kind of cool. I think that's cool. These are all ridiculously detailed though. Like, it's honestly insane to me just how much effort they did actually put into these figures. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. He comes with his, like, sword. He can also hold on to Slag here, which I'm sure I'll try to do in a second. Oh! Okay, cool. Yeah, there we go. So, here we go. Hold on to him. So, it's kind of like from Quest for Booty, which is pretty great. So, yeah. Here's Slag a little bit more in detail here. Yeah, it's something, that's for sure. Here is Smuggler. Really great figure here as well. He's not quite as, like, I think highly desired or as rare. But, I don't know, I think he might be one of the best ones, honestly, just because of how well sculpted and painted this whole thing is. But his eyes look kind of crazy. He comes with the Rhino 5, which is awesome. Like, love that design. It is crazy looking. I don't think that the Ratchet figure can hold it. I think I try to do that. Oh yeah, you can remove his little, dagger knife thing, which is fun. But yeah, they really captured, like, how he looks in the PS3 games really, really well. And there's just a lot of details and stuff you can see through the design for all of these characters. But especially this one, I don't know. To see his teeth and his eyes, so crazy looking, like, what? That's nuts. Wow. And then you got the little parrot, so that's fun. And last but not least of the action figures, like actual action figures, I guess, we have Hyperflux Ratchet, which I think might be the rarest one. It's not advertised on any of the boxes or anything. He is very cool looking though. I mean, he's essentially the same figure as the Holoflux one, just with, of course, a different head sculpt and tail, I guess. But very cool. I mean, it's a red Ratchet. So, yeah, very awesome. And very shiny. He's like extra shiny compared to the other figures, so that's also really neat. Moving on, we've got some of the Escape Toy figures. So this is the blind bag, one of the blind bag figures. So this is one of the big owls that I got. Again, I have like 2 others or whatever from those bags. This one's cool though. This was one I have displayed on my shelf. And he comes with this little robot, which I think only shows up in like a little preview or whatever for Ratchet 2016, which is kind of interesting. But very cute looking. And also, if I could get it out, there we go. This, I think the cards, this is like supposed to represent the holo cards you'd get in Ratchet 2016, so that's kind of cool. Moving on, we've got, of course, the Ratchet and Clank set. I am glad I did get Ratchet and Clank. I mean, they are my favorites after all, but yeah, this is Ratchet. He's very cute. He's a little guy. I love the little designs here, like being simplified here with all the details. He's so cute, though. Very, very cute and stylized. I love it. Clank is really cute as well. I like to call him Bug Clank because of how bizarre he looks. Like, look at this. Also, look at his antenna. Oh my god, that is just like waiting to snap off. But yeah, very cute looking. I love the way his hands look. It's so cute. I don't know, he looks very alien-esque there. And then, of course, this comes with the Omni Wrench, so that's pretty cool. Why Clank is an accessory, I don't know, but I mean, I'm glad they kept them together at least, so that's nice. Here is definitely last, but certainly not least, of the blind bag figures. I did get Talwyn, which as you can see came with a couple of guns, I think, as a promotion. But yeah, I am so happy because I do really like Talwyn. I did make like an hour-long video talking about Talwyn as a character. She's really cool, and this is like the only piece of Talwyn merch, really. So, very cool to actually get this. She's got some really shiny boots, but yeah, pretty awesome. Here's a fairly rare item. This is a Japanese Clank figure. This was a promotional item, I think, again, only from Japan. I don't see it show up very often, and when it does, it's pretty expensive. Very cool, though. This is like the first Ratchet and Clank figure ever, because it was for Ratchet 3, so it's from like 2004. There's some pretty interesting articulation in there, as you can see. It's just neat, and most interestingly, there's a magnet on his back, so you can actually put him somewhere, wherever there's a magnet, which is pretty unique. Pretty cool. I also have this fairly rare Clank figure, the Secret Agent Clank figurine. This was a pre-order bonus for Secret Agent Clank. You saw the bag of it earlier. Pretty well detailed, honestly, for a little, like, you know, pre-order type bonus figure. It was, I think, exclusive to GameStop. Yeah, he's an interesting little guy. I like him, though. Moving on, we have the much bigger vinyl Escape Toy Ratchet and Clank figures. This was the one that huge box was in. Mine has actually MISC paint, as you can see here, which is kind of interesting. But very cool. You know, you got Ratchet, he's kind of pissed off. For some reason, his ears are like this. I don't know why they decided to have, like, indentations in his ears. That was certainly a choice. And also a lack of detail on his back in general, but yeah, pretty interesting kind of figurine. I do like him a lot, though, for being that stylized. Same thing with Clank. Very cool. He's a lot, like, I don't know, a much darker gray. He's very shiny, though, still, as you could probably tell on here. They like to use a little bit of glitter type of shine look for Clank, which I like. Oh, okay, he tried to escape. Okay. So anyways, yeah, here they are. They're very cool. Here is a Ratchet Sackboy keychain figurine. This guy is so cute. I don't have a ton of Little Big Planet stuff, but this is one of the few things I do have, and I'm really happy about this. I always use the Ratchet skin, pretty much, when I play Little Big Planet, so this is really, really cool to have. He's so cute. I love him a lot. It's actually really well detailed, too, for being this, like, small. And then, of course, I have the out-of-the-box Ratchet and Clank mini-mates. These I've had since forever, since I got them, you know, however many years ago. This is very well detailed. I love this a lot. I actually have a bit of inspiration from the Ratchet, like, face I try to use in some of my drawings. But, anyways, yeah, very well detailed little figurine. It makes me wish we would get, like, an actual Lego Ratchet and Clank at some point. Here's the Clank mini-mate. He's also really cute. He's very bulky. His feet are huge too, like what? But very cute. He's very metallic and shiny. And he looks cool. Here is the newest Ratchet and Clank figure, of course, the U2s. I actually have an unboxing of this guy. If you do want to check it out, I'll link it below. But yeah, this is a fantastic figure. I actually really, really like this guy. He's probably one of the better Ratchet and Clank figures, and he's also still new, so if you do want one, I would recommend getting him soon, so yeah. Here is a 3D printed Ratchet and Clank kind of figurine statue thing that I have that's extremely dusty and gross. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, man, 3D printing has come a long way, but man, I don't know, there's something about this I have a soft spot for. It just looks so cool. I love Ratchet and Clank so much. They're so cute. Yeah. Here's an Aphelion I tried to make, however, like probably a decade ago now, in a 3D printing class. So yeah, I actually tried to make this, and I think it kinda looks like the Aphelion, but only a little bit. I think I'd do a better job now. But yeah, pretty cool. Here I have a couple of random, like a nut and a bolt that I found that I usually put with my figures. And finally, I think this is the final figures I have, are these Ratchet, Clank, and Tailwind littlest pet shops my sister made for me a long time ago. They're so cute though. I love it. I love the fact that, like, she just, I don't know, spent her time making this for me. She loves Littlest Pet Shop, so she has a crazy LPS collection. But yeah, I love this a lot, you know, Ratchet, Clank, and Tailwind. I've loved all of them, and so, yeah. Alright, so now we're gonna move on to the second part of miscellaneous stuff, and we're gonna begin with this crazy, weird thing. It is a Insomniac Games driver's license plate. Yes, I didn't know this was a thing. I think it's real. I don't know. Kind of crazy, though. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. So, yeah. Moving on, we have also these this is for sure official Insomniac Games mugs, which is pretty cool. There's no name, of course, as you can see on it, but very neat. I mean, I think it's super awesome just to get, you know, some Insomniac merch. I guess it's not technically Ratchet and Clank stuff, but whatever, man. It's Insomniac. These look super cool, though. I don't know. I like them. I give them a good 2 thumbs up. Yeah. Moving on, I've got this Ratchet and Clank water bottle. I've had this for a while now. This is a pretty cool design, so yeah, I like this guy. And I also have this other Ratchet and Clank water bottle. This is one that is also for Rift Apart. Very blue, very shiny, so yeah. Next up we have these Ratchet and Clank birthday party cups that I got. Very neat. They're paper cups. Will I ever use them? Probably not. But yeah, they're official Ratchet and Clank cups, which mainly have Clank on them. But I also have these fairly rare Ratchet and Clank 2 cups that were, I think, for a movie in Australia, like a cinema in Australia. I know someone made a post about it a while ago now, but yeah, so I did get some of these, which is very cool, so thank you. Here is this little package of other stuff, because I don't really know how else to display or do anything with this, but this is a bunch of Ratchet and Clank birthday party supply stuff. So this stuff was like for like a certain cutout thing. This is some, of course, Ratchet and Clank napkins. Yeah, lunch napkins with Nefarious on it. We got some paper plates. This one has Captain Quirk on it. Then these bigger plates have Ratchet and Clank on them, which also look really, really cool. I also have this balloon. It's a Ratchet and Clank. I think it's, I don't think it's a foil balloon, but it is a balloon. So that is really cool. And some Ratchet and Clank invitations. So yeah, I can create a whole Ratchet and Clank birthday party if I want to, guys. As well as these little notepads. I don't know what these are. Here we got this promotional notebook for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Very cool. As you can see, I think I've only opened it maybe once. So let me open it again, because I know there's something else I actually put in here that I may as well show you guys since I have it here. I have these Rift Apart stickers that are pretty cool. These little official sticker sheets that I think were a pre-order bonus or something. There isn't anything interesting about the art on there, but anyways, yeah. Here's this old, also promotional spiral notebook for Tools of Destruction. It's very 3D-esque, which is kind of interesting. As you can see, all the paper has this faint look of the box art, which is interesting, I guess. Here are some Ratchet and Clank Redbubble phone cases that I've had over the years, so that's neat. Here is a Ratchet and Clank mug with a bunch of pins in them, because this is, I guess, where I put a lot of my pins. These are the Rift Apart pins. Pretty cool. I got the 15th anniversary pin, this other, like, Into the Nexus type pin, Pork and Nefarious, Ratchet and Clank egg pins. These are the oldest pins I have. This Quark one, this Ratchet one, and this Clank one. And these are all from I Am 8-Bit. They're all pretty rare. They don't show up very often. I also got these two pins for free, actually, from that Insomniac thing. Got these Ratchet and Clank keycaps. They're pretty old and rare. This is a old Ratchet 1, like, pin button promotional item. Here's also a pretty old Insomniac Games yo-yo that I still don't really know why they made that, but yeah. Here's a Ratchet and Clank USB drive, or stick, whatever you want to call it. This is very rare. Don't see this pop up very often. Here are some Rift Apart kind of promotional stuff. A lot of the stuff I just talked about, by the way, were like pre-order stuff. These stuff are definitely pre-order as well, just for Rift Apart, of course, but yeah. And then, of course, the Loot Crate wrench pen. This is really neat. I don't think it still works anymore, but it looks very cool. It's a very, very cool little item. And then we got some Ratchet and Clank cards here. As you can see, I actually have another Ratchet Santa card, so I have two, I guess, now. This is a gift card for EB Games. I'm not from Canada, so... Oh, there's a basketball card on the back there, alright. And I do also have the other version of the PlayStation Experience Ratchet 2016 card, so I'm really glad to have both of those now, which is really, really cool, because they're kind of rare. They're kind of rare. May as well throw this in a sealed deck of PlayStation Experience cards. And this, like, little box container thing for cards, so that's kind of weird. Oh yeah, I also had showed this, I think in a post, I don't know, a long time ago now. They're Top Trump PlayStation cards. They have a bunch of different cards. There's ones for Ratchet, Clank, and Rivet though, so they're in there. I just don't feel like pulling them out at the moment, so yeah. They're pretty cool looking though. I definitely recommend them. There's a bunch of cool cards in that. Here's another, I mean, not really Ratchet and Clank, I guess, but I gotta show it anyways. PlayStation All-Stars, like, play deck type of cards. Kind of rare, I don't really see this. Here is, I think, like, just a gift card container you probably could find at, like, a local store right now, but, yeah, it's got Ratchet and Clank on there. There's no gift card in here, it's just cool to have that. This is pretty rare. It's a Ratchet and Clank postcard from 2021, which has a bunch of different characters on it, which is very cute, very fun. As you can see, Tall One's on there, which is really cool. As well as a bunch of other Ratchet 1 stuff, actually, which is weird. Here is a rare in-bag inflatable wrench. This was, I think, something given out in Comic-Con, I think, in 2009. So very old. Oh, this is another. I'm sorry. I'm going speed. I'm trying to speed up because I have too much stuff, as you can see, guys. This is a Secret Agent Clank pen. Yeah, I don't know why they made this, but yeah. So I have 2 Ratchet and Clank pens, I guess. So that's kind of unique. But yeah, it comes in this little box. So here's, I think the last or latest Ratchet and Clank thing I got, this Astrobot Ratchet and Clank pin. Very cool. I think it's still available. I'll try to link it if I can. But very cute. I love Astrobot, love Ratchet and Clank, so. Moving on, we have some Ratchet and Clank movie stuff. Here's the movie popcorn bag that I got back in April of 2016. And this is my sister's, I think, that she used to have or whatever as well, so that's cool. Here are the tickets that when we went to go see it. You can see right there, April 29th, 2016 at 7:30 p.m. Wow, okay. And here is something really special. I didn't open this. I was waiting until this video to open this. But I got these really old, really cool Ratchet and Clank movie promotional things. So as you can see here, there's this very sweet letter. Feel free to pause it. From the seller online. I'm sure some of you guys probably saw this, honestly, online on eBay. But yeah, this is very cool, very cute. But this, like, email, crazy to think, look at this. It's, here, wait. Oh god, there we go. It's from 10 years ago. It's from over 10 years ago. But yeah, I remember seeing these Ratchet and Clank movie things, and I was like, I'm probably never gonna get this. But here we are. Here we have it. So let's let's unbox this. I know, I can't believe I threw in a little unboxing thing in the middle of doing a collection, but this is what happens, okay? You go a little crazy with Ratchet and Clank, and this is how it goes, guys. So this isn't even super crazy. But anyway, so here's the little ticket thing for Ratchet and Clank. It looks like just like a little orange thick paper with the Ratchet and Clank logo on it. Crazy to think this is 10 years old. What? Here's an awesome old like iPhone 5 or something case for the Ratchet and Clank movie. This is the only official Ratchet and Clank, like, I don't know, phone case. So that's kind of weird to think about. Here's this, like, I guess like a plastic bag, right? Yeah, it's just a little goodie bag with Ratchet and Clank busting into theaters in 2015! God, I remember when that got delayed. I was so sad. That's crazy. Next up, we have this pretty, again, like, I'm just shocked that they had literally all this stuff, but this is a Ratchet and Clank Frisbee. Yes, there's an official Ratchet and Clank Frisbee. How do you guys feel about all this stuff? How do you feel about this? Because I think it's awesome. So, yeah, Ratchet and Clank Frisbee. That's really fun. And then I also have, it looks like in this goodie bag, like a Ratchet and Clank pencil and another Ratchet and Clank pen. So, very cool. I just wanted to thank, you know, the seller and everybody. Like, it's just neat, you know, seeing Ratchet and Clank movie stuff. I thought there'd be so much more, but there was not. Moving on, we've got this PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale cleaning cloth type of item. Here's a Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, like, pencil bag? I don't know, some kind of little pouch bag you can hold stuff in, which is pretty cool. I like the art they used on this. Also have this fairly rare PlayStation All-Stars, but also Ratchet and Clank sleeve type of thing. I don't know exactly. Again, there was a way you could win this through like PlayStation All-Stars competitions or something. I don't know, but of course I have the Ratchet and Clank one. What do you expect? Here's a Redbubble COVID mask that I got that I like barely wore because it was super thick and I could barely breathe. It was not great. Okay, moving on. Sorry, I know, we're almost done, okay? Moving on, we're going on to the plushies. Starting off, let's go with these A Crack in Time plushies. Here are the little keychain kind of guys. They're very cute. I really like them a lot. Here are the medium-sized versions of them. I would like to get the large-sized ones eventually, but they're so rare, I don't expect to. Yeah, here's the little tag on them. These, again, were all, like, branded, or, I don't know what the right word is, advertised for Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time. Clank has, like, wired arms, which is kind of cool. Yeah, and I still have these ones at least tagged, which is, pretty insane, considering how old they are. Here are the Ratchet and Clank All for One plushies. I put Ratchet in this bag because, I don't know, I'm scared, I guess. It's not like it works well or anything, but I have him in this bag. And this is a Clank plush that I stole from my sister, so that's that. Here's the tag. This is what the tags would look like. I thought they would make a Quark and Nefarious plush, but they never did. I was really sad about that. Here are the Ratchet and Clank Stubbins. These guys are pretty cute. I like them. The detail on the back is really weird, though. I don't know why they did that. But very cute. You know, these are the 2016, basically, Ratchet and Clank plushies. They're probably one of the more common plushies. What isn't, though, is this one, the PlayStation Experience Ratchet plush. He even comes with a little wrench he holds. And it's in his left hand. That's crazy. As you can see, they only made 500 of these plushies, so weirdly enough, it actually is rarer than some of the Ratchet and Clank statues, which is kind of insane. Moving on, we got these Escape Toy Ratchet and Clank plushies. I got this brand new one in the bag still, as well as this other one outside of the bag. They're cute, you know, they're like little egg-shaped little dudes. Here's Clank and Quark. They're pretty cute. They look so goofy looking, but I don't know, I think they're fun. They have, like, little beans in them, too, which makes it easy if you want to, like, I don't know, put them on a desk or something. But, yeah. And then, of course, last of that set is the Dr. Nefarious one. So, cool to see them actually do some merch of other Ratchet and Clank characters besides, well, Ratchet and Clank. So, that's cool. Moving on, we got the Jinx Ratchet and Clank plushies. There's quite a few of these. We'll go with the, like, 3 main ones, I guess, first. So, start off with Clank here. He's very cute. Love this guy. These guys are all still, I think, pretty easily available. Again, I'll probably try to send a link. What? Just link it somewhere. Here's Rivet. She's very cute. I like the art and design that they put on all these plushies. They're cool. There isn't anything interesting inside, by the way. They're just, yeah. And then, of course, here's Ratchet. Again, these guys are cute. They're just cute little plushies. I think they did a pretty good job, actually, with these guys. They could have looked rough, and, I don't know. I think these are some of the best plushies. I also have a brand new Rivet plush, so that's cool. This was a gift I think somebody gave me, which was very sweet. I also have the keychain Jinx plushies, as you can see here. Got Clank. He's just a cute little guy. These guys, I guess, are called Clipsters. Yeah, they're very cute. Here's Ratchet. His nose is, like, barely visible because they made it so pink. But he's very cute. He's just, again, cute little guy. And easily the most interesting and the best one is Kit out of here. Because she doesn't have a lot of merch, so that is pretty awesome. But, yeah, awesome. Moving on, we have the Deluxe Stubbins plushies. Here is the Rivet one with Clank. What's cool about these plushies is they have magnets in them, so you can actually attach and reattach the Clank, which is really cute. Yeah, they're huge though. As you can see, I can kind of barely fit them on the screen, but this is a cute plush. I like the Rivet plush. And the Ratchet one is adorable as well. They did a great job with the detail. They actually put way better detail and effort in these than the, like, normal Stubbins plushies, I feel like. And similar thing, you know, the magnet. Kind of wish they did a kit, though. That would have been fun. And then, as you can see here, I have an in-bag Rivet. And of course, the last plush I have is the Ratchet Meow plush. So this is why I don't have the Rivet Meow, because I have no space, as you can see here, like barely any space. But this is a cool plush. I don't know, it's cute. It's weird, but I like it. I don't know, I think it's funny. Okay, moving on to clothing. So these are kind of clothing items. And starting off strong, guys, I finally found the Clank backpack. This is something I've been wanting to get for years. I cannot believe I actually have this now. That makes me so happy. I also have these ripped apart socks, which I'm just gonna keep in here probably. I love the designs on here. They're cute. Here are some other ripped apart socks. They have that same like kind of black and white aesthetic that they've been going for a while now, which is cool. And then let me zoom out here. Here was the more of the clothing, I guess. This is the Ratchet and Clank Halloween costume. Please ignore my insane like angle of my arm and stuff. This is a rare Ratchet 1 shirt. I love this shirt a lot. Very cool. Moving on from that, we got this, I think again like from Redbubble, like a Ratchet 2 kind of sweatshirt. Oh yeah, I got this insert coin Ratchet and Clank jacket. As you can see, I've not worn it yet because it is still really warm outside, so I'll probably wear it when it's colder. Very cool though. Here's a Ratchet and Clank sweatshirt for Rift Apart. It's got Clank on the back, which is super cool. Very cute. Here are the rest of the Halloween costume stuff, which is like the gloves and shoes and hat, I think. Here's this promotional Ratchet and Clank All for One shirt. Pretty rare. I don't see this show up very often. This is an official Insomniac Games shirt from 2023, which is pretty cool. Here is a pretty rare volunteer Ratchet and Rivet, I guess, Ratchet and Rivet shirt for Insomniac, which is pretty cool. I was shocked I was able to get this. This really wrinkly Ratchet and Clank shirt from the Insomniac site from a long time ago. This random Ratchet shirt, I don't think this is official, but it's a red Ratchet shirt, so, you know. This other really cool, rare volunteer Insomniac Ratchet and Rivet shirt, which is pretty awesome. This random PlayStation All-Stars shirt. This 15th anniversary Ratchet and Clank shirt. Sorry some of these are so wrinkly, oh my god. This other Rift Apart type shirt. This Rift Apart hat, as you can see it is official. I got the tag on it still. This one is not official, I don't think. It's just a hat with the little Ratchet logo on it. And of course the wrench, which looks pretty awesome. Oh yeah, and I also have I have this Ratchet and Clank shirt. I have some other Ratchet and Clank shirts I didn't even show on here because I'm running out of time and space. But yeah, and then this other Rift Apart shirt, which looks cool. So, yep. So this is my final couple stuff. This is mainly posters and things like that. But yeah, so what's in this box, because I just, again, don't really have I can't remove it, I can't really take this out at the moment, but it is an official Ratchet 3 poster. It's a double-sided poster. It's got Ratchet 3 and then Jack 3 on the other side. It was actually used in in-game stores, so very cool. I just, again, can't really display it very well, unfortunately. This is, of course, the first, like, wave of action figure kind of set for Ratchet and Clank. As you can see, it does still do a little advertisement, which is cool. Here is the Ratchet 2, like, store display poster, which is cool. This one's, like, shiny and aluminum. This one is, like, a Redbubble, I think, Ratchet poster, which is awesome. This other fan-made poster, so I have like a bunch of posters. I have this extra Ratchet 1 manual poster. So next up, we have this official signed James Arnold Taylor Ratchet print. Pretty crazy. I think that it's official. I mean, it should be. I don't know. This is the only one I'm kind of unsure on. What I am sure of, though, is this item. Very rare. Really shocked that somebody was selling this. And it is this Insomniac, like, what is it? Ted Price, Brian Algier, and Brian Hastings, and oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. Point being is it's a pretty rare Insomniac kind of card signed for the 15th anniversary for Ratchet and Clank. Really crazy, really happy to have this. I need to figure out a way to, like, frame it, though, so yeah, pretty cool. Moving on, we have some of the book posters. These were in like the Scholastic books. This Ratchet 1 ad and another Ratchet and Clank figure, I don't know, art. Deadlocked poster, Ratchet and Clank movie poster, other All For One poster, and the Ratchet and Clank movie poster, the official one. Oh my god. Yeah, so that is all of the Ratchet and Clank stuff that I have been able to get and obtain over the many, many years of being a really big Ratchet and Clank fan. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys, you know, love Ratchet and Clank as much as I do, you know, and you found or seen some stuff that you've never seen before or whatever. I think that's always cool, and feel free to like share your collections or anything like that too. I think that would be super cool. So thank you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.